But we begin tonight with a mother outraged by the way a judge punished her daughter on a field trip to his courtroom. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Carolyn Clifford. 7 News Detroit broke the story 24 hours ago. Well, tonight, the teen's mom says she did not know what happened until we started digging. Her 15-year-old daughter fell asleep, and the judge felt compelled to teach her a lesson. Well, now the story is making national headlines. The entire country is talking about how the girl ended up in handcuffs and a jail uniform.
And for whatever reason, your fragile ego was bruised because this young lady kept falling asleep in the courtroom. So you decided to threaten her with handcuffs and jail clothes? Man, everybody involved in this situation needs to be disciplined. The judge, the officers who went along with this nonsense, all of y'all need to be disciplined in some way, shape, or form. Suspended without pay. This is an abuse of power. Her parents should be able to sue.
So we got to talk about this maniac judge who's been removed from the bench because he saw a teen on a field trip to the courthouse sleeping in his court and decided to put her in jail clothes and handcuff her. Yes, this is insane. Now, this is Judge Kenneth King. If you go on YouTube and type in Judge Kenneth King, you'll see there are many, many videos of this judge acting crazy online. Now, with these judges, the crazier you act, the more views you get. So on August 13th, 2024, at the 36th District Court in Detroit, Michigan, 15-year-old Eva Goodman was on a class field trip to see how the court system worked. Now, for whatever reason, Eva was sitting in the gallery watching the court proceedings, but kept falling asleep, and the judge didn't like the fact that 15-year-old Eva was falling asleep in his courtroom.
Is that I am not a toy. I'm not to be played with.
What started out as an informational field trip with the greeting of Detroit nonprofit Tuesday to the 36th District Court in front of Judge King.
This is the 36th District Court for the city of Detroit. We do just about everything that happens in the city of Detroit.
Quickly turned into Judge King getting visibly agitated over a sleeping student in his courtroom.
You fall asleep in my courtroom one more time, I'm putting you in the back, understood?
Now, Eva kept falling asleep, even though the judge had warned her previously. Here is what she told the judge.
You're old enough to know better. What is your problem?
Tired because Eva and her mom don't have a permanent address.
So since Eva kept falling asleep because she's tired, the judge wasn't having it and decided to teach Eva a lesson by having court staff handcuff her and put her in prison garb.
You sleep at home in your bed, not in court. Quite frankly, I don't like your attitude.
District Court Judge Kenneth King admonishing 15-year-old Eva Goodman after she fell asleep in his courtroom. He then forced her into handcuffs and a prison jumpsuit. Eva's mother outraged and planning to press charges.
Now, the judge did explain why he felt it was necessary to put this teen in handcuffs and in prison clothes and embarrass her in front of the court like this.
Judge King had her removed from the courtroom, but he told me that didn't fix her, quote, attitude. And that's when he pulled out the jail uniform and handcuffs.
That's not something that normally happens, but I felt compelled to do it because I didn't like the child's attitude.
King says he was trying to teach the teenager a lesson on behavior and respect in court.
I haven't been disrespected like that in a very long time.
He then threatened the girl with jail time.
I'm going to go to sleep tonight while you're sitting in the juvenile detention facilities.
Was I really going to do that? Probably not. Could I have? Probably so. But that's not what I want to do to a kid who's there on a field trip.
The judge standing by his methods, though, saying it was all just to help children from being in his courtroom later in life.
So that was my own version of scared straight.
And Judge King tells me that he has been in contact with the girl's parents and that he does hope to mentor her.
Now, this judge obviously needs some professional help. Now, this also brings me to the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. You know, as adults, we often forget to keep learning and growing. Life gets busy, and before we know it, we're stuck in routines. But remember, that curiosity when you were a kid, therapy can help you reconnect with that sense of wonder. no matter how old you are. Whether you want to learn a new hobby, tackle a personal challenge, or simply become the best version of yourself, therapy can be a powerful tool. It's not just for those who face major life events, it's about improving your everyday life and mental well-being. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's completely online, making it convenient and flexible to fit into your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can even switch therapists at any time with no extra cost. You can rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Nate Law to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/Nate Law. So the judge thinks he did everything okay. This was for the benefit of this 15-year-old girl. But everyone else thought the judge was insane, like the chief judge, who then removed Judge King from the bench because what he did was obviously insane.
Still hard to believe it happened.
When I first saw it, I was a little dismayed. That's not how business is normally conducted at 36th District Court.
The Chief Judge of 36th District Court, Judge William McConaughey, speaking up.
I understood the judge had good intentions, but how it was executed was not proper. But whether the young lady was homeless, whether she lives in a mansion, she should not have been treated that way at 36th District Court. Judge King is not doing a docket at 36th District Court right now. He will not have a docket until he has undergone some sensitivity training, as well as some other training dealing with trauma and dealing with cultural competency. After he has completed that training, and then we've had some conversations and we're clear on how we're going to move forward, then he'll be eligible to resume his docket.
Now, people in the neighborhood don't feel like that was enough. So the judge is now receiving death threats.
The fallout from this incident continues, and now the judge is receiving death threats.
I did have a conversation with Judge King, and he alerted me that there were some threats. The Detroit Police Department was contacted through our director of security, and we are taking all threats to be credible. We were able to get Judge King out of the building yesterday, and he is safe. Threats are never acceptable.
Now, it even got worse for Judge King because he had a side job teaching at Wayne State University Law School, and after this happened, they fired him.
The story keeps trending right now. The fallout continues after a Detroit judge had a teen handcuffed because she fell asleep in his courtroom. Wayne State University tells NBC News that Judge Kenneth King has been removed from teaching classes there. The move comes after King admonished 15-year-old Eva Goodman after she fell asleep in his courtroom during a field trip on Tuesday.
So this judge has been taken off the bench, lost his side job, and now is looking at a re-election campaign where he probably is not going to be a judge for long. Now, obviously, Eva's mom is going to sue the court system and the judge.
You didn't disrespect your court or your honor in the courtroom. Falling asleep is not a crime.
Now, Eva's mother has hired a lawyer who tells me those charges they intend to file will include intentional infliction of emotional distress, false arrest, and false imprisonment. We could see those filed as soon as Monday. Guys?
Maura, thank you for that. I could think about 10 different ways to handle that other than putting a 15-year-old in handcuffs. And you never know what someone's life circumstances.
So now I throw the question to you. What should happen to this judge? Number one, I personally feel this judge should be removed permanently because obviously this judge has some mental issue. He's not a king. He's a judge. Remember, this wasn't the defendant in the case. This was somebody who was there on a field trip watching what was going on and happened to fall asleep. And like her mom said, falling asleep is not a crime. So this whole, I want to teach her a lesson. What lesson did he teach her? Falling asleep in the courtroom, a tired young girl? This judge is ridiculous. But now he's suffering death threats, losing his job, and he's probably going to lose his judgeship over this. But my question to you, how much should this mom and her daughter get from the state? Because that's who's going to have to pay her for what this judge did. Now, I do think she should get paid and this judge should be punished. As always, tell me where I'm wrong in the comments section. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and these judges are crazy.